Hello, algebra students. Welcome back. Yesterday's lesson we did proportional relationships where the value at 0 was 0. So we had the 0.00, which made it proportional. And it followed the equation f of x equaled kx. So today we're going to talk about non-proportional relationships. So the non-proportional relationship, if the ratio of the value of x to the value of y is different for select ordered pairs on the line, the equation is non-proportional. Write an equation in function notation for the relation shown in the graph. So what we're doing is we remember the equation y equals mx plus b, where m was what we called our slope and b was our y-intercept. So what we're going to do is we're going to write our equation. We're going to use that same equation, y equals mx plus b, but we're actually going to do f of x. Instead of naming it y, we're going to say f of x equals mx plus b. Now b is the y value when x equals 0. Y when x equals 0. And slope, that's going to be our difference in our y values actually. So in our xy table, it's going to be our difference of our y values. And that's a y. Make sure that's clear. So looking at this, what does y equal when x equals 0? Y equals 2. So that is our b. B equals 2. And if you notice, our x values are going up by 1 each time. So that's why it's the difference in our y values, because x is going up by 1 each time here. If x was not going up by 1, I'd still have to figure out my slope. So the difference here is from our y values, and I'll do this in green. I'm subtracting 2. 2 to get to 0, I subtract 2. Subtract 2. Subtract 2. So our m equals -2. And our b equals, hold up. Our b equals +2. So our equation is f of x equals m, which is -2, times x, which is our variable, plus b, and b is 2, so +2. And that's our equation. So let's go on and do some problems together. Write an equation in function notation for the relation shown in the table. So first thing we want to check, does our x values go up by 1 each time? They do. They're going up by 1 each time. Now we need to figure out what's going on with our y value. So what do I do to -2 to get to +2? Well, I added 4. What do I do to get from 2 to 6? Well, I add 4. So if I'm going to add 4 again, when x is 2, y has to be 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 4, 14. And 14 plus 4 is 18. Okay, so first thing I need to know, my x values were going up by 1, so my m, my slope, is whatever the distance is here, whatever this difference was. So it's positive 4. So m equals positive 4. B is whatever y equals when x equals 0. So if I go over here to the chart and I look, x equals 0, y equals 2. So that means B has to equal 2. And I have my information that I need. So I can write f of x, which is just another way of saying y. F of x equals m for x plus b, which is plus 2. And that's my answer. Let's look at number 2. First thing I want to check, do my x values go up by 1? Well, negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1, so that works. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0, and so forth. So my first stipulation is a check. Now I'm going to see what's going on here. 10 to get to 7 is I subtract 3. 7 to get to 4, I subtract 3. So I have to subtract 3 here. 4 minus 3 is 1. And I'm going to keep subtracting 3 to finish out my table. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So, first things first, m equals, because my x values went up by 1, m is just whatever this value is, which is negative 3. So m equals negative 3. B equals, it's my y value when x equals 1. So when x equals 0. When x equals 0, y equals 4. So I have my equation. F of x equals negative 3x plus 4. And that's it. Now we're going to do it from a graph, and a graph is actually even easier. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my slope by drawing my triangle here from left to right. So I went down 1, right 1. So m equals negative 1 over 1, which is negative 1. And b is the value where the line crosses the y-axis. So that's 0, 1, 2. Y equals 2 at this value, so that means b equals 2. So now I'm going to write my equation. F of x, because all I need is m and b, and I got both of them. F of x equals, m is negative 1, so negative 1x plus b, and b is 2. So plus 2. The only thing is I don't like putting that negative 1 in front of the x, so I'm going to rewrite it as simply f of x equals negative x plus 2. And that's our answer for number 3. Number 4, let's see what's our slope. Triangle, so I go up 2, that's a positive 2. Right 1, so m equals 2 over 1, which is 2. So m equals 2. What's my y-intercept? 1, 2. So b equals 2, and I just plug it into my formula. F of x equals 2x plus 2. And that's our answer. So make sure you guys turn in your work. If you have any questions, reach out, guys. Have a good day.